Warning, this video is pretty gross. In fact, editing this kind of sucked. Look at him, clinging to a blade of grass, hands like little claws, eagerly waiting to cling onto his first piece of prey. You're walking nearby, maybe eating a Cliff Bar, totally unaware of this little creature, and the 3-day feast that is to come. It's on you now, looking for the perfect spot to dig in. The feast begins. Its mouth resembles an array of hooks, twisting and digging into your flesh until its head is completely buried under your skin. Your best bet at this point is to pull it out, as difficult of a task that may be. With its set of tweezers, grab the skin around the tick and squeeze it out head first. The head is important to remove, but will often put up a tough fight. If unnoticed, a tick will live in the skin for 3 days, until it's completely filled with the host's blood, inflated like a sick little blueberry. Then, it just falls off, wherever it may be. That little blood balloon has enough nutrition to last a year without another meal. And if this hasn't creeped you out yet, the disease it can carry will.
I'm dying.
This is Kristen. She has Lyme disease. This is her story.
When I was 14, me and my best friend at the time went into the woods by my house. And I went home and fell asleep. And then the next morning, I had this huge pain on my arm right here. I rolled up my sleeve, and there's a huge bullseye rash on my arm. So I go to my parents, I'm like, this hurts really bad. So I got blood work done, and at first it didn't show up that I had Lyme disease. It showed up like normal. They thought it was just cellulite from a spider bite. Then a month goes by, and all of a sudden I start feeling really bad, and I had a fever of over 100, and I couldn't move or anything. So my parents took me back to Stat Health, and we got more blood work done, and it turned out I did have Lyme disease. So now it's dormant, but it's still there, and it never goes away.
Cool. What are some of your symptoms?
I constantly feel tired. My bones always ache all the time. I get sick easier than most people. I constantly have bags under my eyes. Because I had Lyme disease, it destroyed my immune system, so I contracted trichinosis, which not many people get. Had to be reported to like this huge government case because of it, and that caused my muscle mass to go down, and it makes me weaker, so I blame that on the Lymes too.
Damn, that's kind of f***ed up.
It is f***ed up.
Now it's time to bust some myths about Lyme disease and ticks. Number 1, burning ticks off your skin is more effective. Killing the tick doesn't make it any easier to pull off. All you might do is burn yourself. Lyme doesn't always leave a bullseye infection. In fact, fewer than 50% of Lyme cases start with this rash. If you get bit, get checked. Lyme disease is not an STD. Only deer ticks are dangerous. This is not true. While deer ticks are the only ones known to carry Lyme disease, all ticks have a potential to carry a host of diseases. Dog ticks are known to carry Rocky Mountain spotted fever, a potentially fatal infection. The Lone Star tick was recently discovered to transmit alpha-gal syndrome, which can have some very strange effects.
A mysterious and rare condition transmitted by ticks may be on the rise. A bite from the aggressive Lone Star tick can cause people to develop a red meat allergy and, in some cases, a reaction to dairy products.
Yes, you heard that right. Getting bit by the Lone Star tick runs a risk of chronic veganism. Oh, here's my favorite one. Ticks go away in the winter. Oh no, you're never safe from these guys. There's less of them in the winter, but you're never safe.
So I just sat down for 1 second here in the woods and pulled these guys off myself. And this guy right here, that is definitely a deer tick. So just because the weather's starting to cool down, don't forget to take precautions against these guys. They are still out, and they'd love to give you all kinds of nasty diseases.
This video is already a decent length, so stay tuned because I'm going to show you some ways where you can prevent getting bit by ticks with things you can bring, things you can wear to prevent Lyme disease and not suffer for the rest of your life or whatever.